WNBL Round 5 kicks off with a Friday night Victorian derby as the Geelong Venom host the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Welcome to Geelong Arena, the Strikehouse, as the players arriving courtside in just a few moments, checking in thanks to Minor Hotels. And it's a night, well, with added significance as Kayla George officially moves into 5th on the all-time WNBL games list. Welcome to Geelong, beautiful Victoria today. And we have the derby in the house. The 2-2 Southside Melbourne Flyers taking on the 2-4 Geelong Venom. They're brimming with confidence after Tuesday's victory, a 19-point win over the Perth Lynx. It was a stirring one, and Lily Rotuno absolutely starred. A career night for her. Great to have you company. The Friday Night Hoops in the WNBL. Liam Ellison here. Alongside me is WNBL Championship skipper Beck Cole and Opal's bronze Olympic medalist Alana Smith. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Liam. Friday Night Hoops is going to be an exciting one. Big rivalry with Venom versus Flyers, and I cannot wait.
Yes, very much looking forward to this hit-out tonight.
The Geelong Venom will be hoping for back-to-back victories, as we mentioned, after Tuesday. And Lily Rotuno is going to be one of their key contributors. Back in the starting 5 tonight, here she was a little earlier with Kelsey Brown.
I'm here with Lily Rotuno. Lily, I want to ask you about Tuesday night's game. A very dominant performance by you guys. What did Chris Lucas have to say, and what was he impressed about out of that one?
I think the way we came out in the second half defensively was a priority for us, and once we fixed our defensive schemes, and like I said in my other interviews, that when we get stops and when we run, we look our best. So I think defensive tenacity was the biggest thing for us that game.
You talk about the second half. Something that needs to be addressed is the starts. Has that been spoken about as well?
Oh, yeah, 100%. It's something that we spoke about at training, we spoke about this morning at Scout. I think just coming up with a lot of energy, because we do all the preparation and we've looked at the film, we know the Scout. So I think just coming out with a lot of energy and with a lot of confidence, because we should be with how our group has been playing.
What about you personally? You were very aggressive on Tuesday. Another aggressive game from you. Is that the mindset coming into tonight?
Yeah, I always want to come out being aggressive. It's something I'm definitely going to be working on, but I'm not going to put any external pressure on myself. I'm just going to come out and play the way that I play, and hope that our team can be successful with the role that I'm playing. So
we love what you're doing. All the best for tonight.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
Injury creates opportunity, and Lily Rotuno has taken that with both hands, Beck.
She sure has. At only 21 years old, this is her first year as a full-time rostered player, getting a double-double. But what I love about this performance from Lily, Christy Harrower is now going to have to put her into the main scout. Now this is going to open up her other teammates like Shelley, Potter and Sharp. But boy, was her pick and roll game with Mackenzie Holmes one to watch, and I think that will be back in action tonight.
Well, one of those defensive weapons that Christy Harrower does possess is Tara Reid, returning this season into the starting 5 into tonight's match. Here she was with Kelsey.
Tara, a really tough loss to Perth on Sunday. Managed only 10 points in that final quarter. What was the review like coming off that one?
Yeah, obviously I think it was just a lot of self-inflicted things. I think we went a bit stagnant against the zone. So we've been working on that this week, and just how to keep the ball movement and get the ball moving through hands as well. Yeah.
What has been the talk around the consistency, the way that you guys play at the moment? It's 1 win, 1 loss. That's the pattern for the first 4 games of the season. Has there been chat around that consistency and how you piece together a full game?
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's good that it's the beginning of the season and we're getting to learn all these different things. So I think that's just with any team. We're trying to find our identity. We know we can, if we show up, we can beat any team. So, yeah, I think it's just trying to find the consistency and roles and things like that. But, yeah, no stress from our end, and all we're doing is looking to get better every game.
Well, we love what you're doing. All the best for this one. Thank you.
Tara Reid there. We mentioned as well in the pre-game, Kayla George. Big night for her, Alana, moving up to 5th all-time games played.
Yeah, Kayla brings just years and years of experience, being a 3-time Olympian, a 2023 WNBA champion, and also captaining the Opals this year at the Asia Cup. She also brings just a ton of offense. She's a weapon on the floor, with her strengths being stretching the floor, her passing ability, and just her sheer size, which also creates problems defensively as well. She's going to be a key player for the Flyers tonight.
She really is one of the modern greats in the WNBL. Let's welcome in the 4th member of our team tonight, courtside throughout the contest, Kelsey Brown. Kels.
Hey guys, great to be here. The Strike House is absolutely filling up, and we know that Geelong fans adore their home team. I need to give a shout out to Jazz Shelley. I've been watching her in the warm-up. I think she's in for a big one, guys. She has not missed. There's been logo threes all warm-up.
Thanks, Kelsey. That is usual business, really, for Jazz Shelley.
It really is. She has been quiet, but she's also been very consistent. But she had a breakout game. We know what she can do. And I think putting Lily into the one allows her to get more shooting opportunities. But Shelley, if Kelsey was saying she was looking good in pre-game warm-up, I think we'll be impressed in this first quarter.
Totally agree. Lily Rotuno, unsurprisingly, back in the starting five, still awaiting the return of Shyla Heal-Alana, and that is going to be clearly a crucial in when that comes.
Definitely, I think Shyla going to the Venom this year was a big pickup for them, and so they're missing that point guard presence. But I know they're looking forward to her coming back. But Lily Rotuno has stepped up in a major way in Shyla's absence.
Here we go. Friday Night Hoops kicks off, and the Flyers bring us down here in Geelong. Victorian derby. Great to have your company wherever you're watching around the country. Here's Reid off the dribble. Poked out from Potter, early days. Flyers basketball. Southside was so close in their last outing back, just falling by 3 over in Perth a week ago. That was a bit of a heartbreaker, really. Oh,
it was. They were up all game. They had the control as well, the momentum. Izzy Bourne, she really showed up and showed out in that game with the 22 points and 8 rebounds. And they, I'm sure, had a very tough week at the office, and they'll be wanting to get another win in the column.
They sure will be. Here is Rotuno. Coming off that 21-point performance, great off the window.
Picking back up right where she left off a couple of nights ago.
George, great find inside. The seal for Peters. That's sharp there, and good on the reverse. Now Peters, a veteran, but first look in the WNBL this year, and it's always an adjustment, Alana, moving down under here to a physical league like the WNBL.
Definitely, I think Australians play with a lot of grit, and so when you come and play in the WNBL, that's the first thing that you learn, and so you just have to adjust on the fly.
Mackenzie Holmes has adjusted beautifully. Peters back-to-back buckets.
There we have the three-headed monster back at it again. George, Bourne and Peters. The chemistry they have so early on is great to watch, and I think that will be a big strength for the Southside Melbourne Flyers.
Holmes and George. Key matchup this one, a travel this time. You just feel like the fortunes of this game, so much of it is going to come down to that Holmes and George duo.
Oh, that is a key matchup for tonight. They both can shoot from the outside, have a great inside presence, but you can see Flyers are really looking to use those mismatches because, lad, as you said, George is so tall and length is such a attribution of her game.
Definitely, and she's also an amazing passer. She just seems to be able to have vision of the court and eyes in the back of her head. She sees everything.
Do it all, Kayla George. Shelley looking to get downhill, plus interest. Jazz Shelley to the line for an extra.
And I like seeing Jazz getting 2 feet in the paint early. See a shot go in, but she's great coming off the pick and rolls, and she's so good getting those scoop layups and getting to the line.
Shelley good on the and one. A homestand here, the Geelong Venom, as Rochi, no one came to meet her. Straight down the boulevard. Delay of game warning. It's got to feel good, though, to start with 5 straight home games for Geelong.
It's almost not heard of, Lan, to have 5 home games in a row, but I think that's why it's so crucial for them to get as many wins early as they can.
Potter unlucky. That's a great find inside. Bourne with a lay-in.
The offensive transition from Flyers early has been really impressive.
Having your bigs being able to run the floor is key.
Rotuno. Now Potter dumped inside. Holmes in the post. Single numbers, the Venom have to go. Clean footwork, better defense from Kayla George. Rochi again attacking, relentless as she always is.
Rochi's so good at getting downhill, and I think that's why Chris Lucas has called a timeout, because the defensive transition by the Geelong Venom just isn't quite up to par where it needs to be.
It's back-to-back trips. They gave up defensive transition points. And indeed, Chris Lucas will want to chat it over. A nice start here for the Flyers. Early 5-point buffer. They have been a little bit patchy this season, the Venom. They've had quarters where they've come from big deficits to force their way back into the game, but then it just seems like maybe concentration lapses, do you think?
They are young as well, so you have to remember not all of them have experienced the highs and the lows of the game, the ebbs and flows, but what they do really well, the Venom, is they never give up. They might be down, it's only a few points right now, it's only 5, but they come back and they sting you, Liam.
They sure do. They sure do. I love it. Early days here. Nothing to be too concerned about. Still waiting for Alyssa Pili to return as well. And a player that, Alana, you know well. What will WNBL fans see when she comes back into the fold?
Well, we were talking about physicality in the WNBL, and I think that's one of Pili's big strengths, is just her physical presence, and I think she's going to thrive in that aspect of the game. I'm super excited to see her back out on court.
As are Geelong fans. Here in that first game, then sustained that foot injury. Not far away is the word. Clinch Hoykart. Not that time. Kelsey Brown was listening in to the Geelong huddle. Kels.
I was. Well, Beck, you were right. He was too concerned with the points in the paint early on for the Flyers. He said they are too much on the front foot on the offensive. And Mackenzie Clinch Hoykart checks in as well. I want to mention her game on Tuesday night. 15 points off the bench. She had 4 boards in 20 minutes to go along with an assist and a steal. She was crucial in that game. So love to see her getting minutes early.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kelsey. Against their former side as well. Here's George, the fall-away jumper.
That's vintage Kayla George. I've seen that move over and over again.
And their milestone night. Ratuno coming off that double-double. One-legged floater.
Okay, Lily Ratuno with the floater game strong. That is going to be another key matchup for me tonight, is Maddie Rochi, Lily Ratuno, both point guards with so much speed on their side.
They're 2 of the quickest in the league. And speaking of, picked her pocket. Now Shelley down the floor. Ratuno open. They run her off the 3-point line. This is a dangerous look. And they let him out of jail. Rochi picks up her dribble. Bourne. The spin cycle on Clinch Hoykart. Pretty move.
That was some great footwork from Izzy Bourne. Off the dribble from the 3-point line, put Clinch Hoykart in the spin move for a cycle of 20 minutes, I say, lad.
Now Sharp with 8 seconds on the clock. Venom needs some movement here. Nice find over to Clinch Hoykart, just short. Second chance, no dice.
Yeah, you said it, Liam. The Venom just look very stagnant right now. But let's have a look at this move from Bourne. What footwork, finishing on the other side of the rim. She's someone who, she had a breakout game with that 22 points, and she's been super consistent, but we know how many points she can rack up and put on the board doing it inside-outside.
Bourne's shooting ability just demands people to close out on her, so she's able to get to the rack and put people in a blender like that.
Here she is, down low with a seal, jump hook, somehow won't fall. It was a great look for the Flyers nonetheless. 7 points in arrears, the Venom. Offense going through, Ratuno once more, and one.
What a finish. Going out of bounds, finishing on that left-hand side, but with her right hand. That is an impressive move, but we just saw that Spanish action where you get a mismatch, and she saw, hey, I have the speed, and Tara Reid, she is just as fast, so that was an impressive finish by the young gun.
3 of 3 from the field, 6 early points already for Ratuno. Red hot, made a statement to the league on Tuesday night. She continues that. It's a down from sharp. They've had their looks from 3 on the flip side, Geelong. Yet to connect. Back with Ratuno, turns the corner. She is cooking at the point guard spot.
Ratuno causing problems for Flyers defense just with her speed and her ability to get her feet in the paint. They're going to have to do something different to contain her.
And she mentioned pre-game with Kelsey that she wanted to be aggressive. And she said that in the post-game interview after their win against Perth. She goes, if I can be aggressive and get points, I then draw defenders and then I can get my teammates open. So she definitely has come into this game with an aggressive mindset.
You just see the confidence. Back to a 1-possession ball game. Opposite corner, 3-ball back heel. Peters, though, a second chance. Bourne will reset. Nothing from that trip for Southside. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown, courtside.
Yeah, just off that back. From ground level, it looks like Ratuno, her decision-making there, it's just flawless. There is nothing that's stopping her. She seems like she's really in flow at the moment. I love that from a young player. And when I spoke to Christy Harrow pre-game, she said the thing she loves about Ratuno is her poise.
Thanks, Kelsey. Just 21 years of age. First season as a fully rostered player as well for Lily Ratuno. Had to do her time as a DP.
You always have to do your time. Lan and I have been there, but what a compliment coming from one of the best point guards in the game, Christy Harrow, saying that you have poise. When you're young, having poise is something that's, you know, quite hard, especially her as her full-time roster. She's getting minutes, and look, she's doing it at both ends on the floor. She just forced Maddie Rocci into a turnover. Lan, do you remember our time at NatOrt Inspectors together in the off-season? It wasn't called NBL1, Liam. It was called Siebel back then. And I called Lan Bambi because she was long, growing into it. But now look at you.
Yeah, I mean, talk about poise. That was definitely something I was lacking at the time. And I had a great vet in Beck helping me out.
I think back then I still wasn't any poise. I don't know if I am now. But it's so good to see her and just develop in this league.
Physical at the timeline. Brett will regain it for Geelong. Ratuno showcasing the handle this time. Holmes for 3. She has been so efficient offensively, Mackenzie Holmes, leading the league in scoring. This is an MVP caliber matchup between the two bigs. George wins down that rebounding contest. The Venom in the open floor. Holmes, fancy footwork.
Okay, Holmes on the offensive transition with a hesitation dribble into a crossover.
You love to see that from bigs who can handle it and also finish really well. Super fun to watch.
Indy Boya connects.
And that's something she can do. She did that all off-season, shoots that 3, doesn't need a lot of time and space, and good to see her getting going early.
It sure is. That found the last rostered spot for the Southside Melbourne Flyers team, and she's taking it with both hands. Here's Ratuno once more. Well on the lap of Holmes, and she's having herself a big couple of minutes. Tick under a minute remaining in this first quarter. Marissa checks in for the Flyers. George, space to work with. Tight ball game here early. Rotuno feeds back inside. Potter. Marissa came across with a help D. Shot clock unplugs. One final look and a chance to take the quarter-time lead. Rochi again through the keyway.
She's so good at getting downhill, getting 2 feet in the paint.
Rotuno not quite in time. A tight first quarter tussle here. The Flyers a 1-point lead after 1 here at the Strikehouse.
We'd like to say a huge thank you to all our amazing fans for bringing the noise tonight. We couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't do t-shirts and, of course, without the incredible support of your local forward dealer, proudly supporting your local basketball. Thank you, forward.
One-point ball game here in Geelong. The Southside Melbourne Flyers retake the lead on the edge of quarter time. This one is going to be very interesting. Lily Rotuno just kicking off where she left off. 8 points in the first quarter, playing with a wealth of confidence, Alana.
Yes, she's still in great form from her last game and just an exciting young player to watch, leading her team so well as a young point guard.
Kelsey Brown was in the Southside Melbourne Flyers huddle at quarter time. Kelsey.
Yeah, Christy was pretty frustrated with the run that Geelong Venom got on in the last part of that first quarter. She said they're junking it up in deep. Let's not, in terms of pace, get into a running race with them. They want to go up and down. Let's control the pace a little bit more. That's what she's after this term.
Okay, adjustments needed from Christy Harrower. Into the corner now. Rattling out for three that time was Brett.
And although that didn't go down from Brett, every player touched that ball in that possession.
Peters, imports combined. Now Bowyer skip past. Marissa set for three. Another long rebound favouring George. Peters looks to go to work. Strong D from the Venom that time. Shelley opted against it. Better look for Clinch Hoykart, who can get hot in a hurry. Shelley asking for the screen. Now 5 seconds. Needs to make a move inside with Potter. And two at the line, the result.
Great way to take advantage of that mismatch there, and a really smart pass from Rotuno.
And Potter's seals have been really good and deep inside that circle. And as a postland, how hard is it as a defender to get around an offensive player when they have sealed you in that charge circle?
Yeah, when you're buried in the charge circle, it's pretty much game over. Pretty much you're done.
Well, WNBL26 is officially underway. Expect to see world-class athletes, fierce rivalries, and some truly epic hoops. Get all your WNBL news, info, tickets, and more at WNBL.com.au or scan the QR code now.
We're seeing the Venom press up the floor here, trying to put some pressure in the backcourt.
Marissa dumped inside. George, baseline jumper. Holmes came across, great timing defensively. Venom strike first here in the seconds. Holmes, strong side emptied out. The footwork on George, that was clinical.
And Holmes is just so poised. No one can fasten her game up. She saw that she had the space to go one-on-one, and she's actually got such great handles as well, but the footwork, that's impressive to me.
I mean, sometimes the tortoise wins the race.
I love it. 11 points early for Mackenzie Holmes. That's certainly true for her. Here's Shelley. 2.5 gone second quarter. Sharp attempting for the seal. Flyers can slingshot the other way here. Andrews, another Adelaide Lightning player who crossed over to the Flyers this season, joining Bourne in Melbourne. Here's Peters once more. They continue to target the paint, the Flyers. No result that time.
Again, that shot didn't go down for Peters, but she realises she has the mismatch on Alex Sharp just with her strength, and she's had great couple of looks at the basket. I still want her to stay confident and go to that shot.
Brett, top of the arc, free ball. Bowyer working hard. Flyers searching for their first points of the seconds. Not back out with Peters. Now Bowyer. And one goes down for Southside. Important three, their second of the contest. Second triple individually for Indy Bowyer. Marissa with the assignment, lost her. Shelley walks into a three. Flyers corral the rebounds. Andrews wants movement. Marissa attacks, loses Brett. That was a strong take. Can't get the bucket.
She can't. She has had a bit of a struggle to the start of the season, and I'm sure she'd love to see a couple of those takes go in because it was such a nice, strong finish at the rim.
Coming off the bench today, McKenna Marissa. Bowyer getting some good burn as well for the Flyers. 6 seconds, that'll be a push-off foul.
That's great defense there, staying in front and giving your chest. Can't ask for much better than that.
Returno will check back in. Shelley unflustered. There is Pilley and Heel watching on. They will be desperate to get back out there for Geelong. They've been plucky, the Venom. They'll like what they've seen. Returno not that time. Reset with George. Again, the seal inside. Peters. That's been working for Southside.
It really has. They've been really loving that play with a horn setup where they feed it to one post. Maddie sets a back screen on the other, and then they look big to big inside.
Latuno awaits a screen. Attacking down the middle, Holmes poked away. It's the advantage of Southside. Peters puts it on the deck herself.
Peters just so strong, especially in that transition game. She knew she had Ratuno, who is a smaller guard, and she's just taking them to work. Keep going at Peters till she can't score no more inside.
Up to 8 points to lead the way for Southside. Timeout here with 4:30 remaining in the half.
And from beyond back, Kembane's going to jump down on the floor as well, throw some of these ones down right here.
A run here for the Flyers to regain the lead here. Chris Lucas burnt both of his timeouts early here. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Alana Smith with you in commentary this evening. Really tip here for Friday Hoops in Geelong. And the early start certainly hasn't stopped the fans from turning out.
It hasn't. The Strike House are happy that Geelong got a home win the other night, and they've come back to support their team and hoping Geelong get another win in that column.
So a 7-0 run for the Flyers to force this time out and retake the lead after a slower start from Christy Harrower's side. Four-point lead for the Southside Melbourne Flyers here in Geelong. A 7-0 run to force the timeout. Great to have your company. The WNBL round 5 kicking off here. Shelley tried to thread the needle. Nia Locke out there for her first minutes. Potter up into the body. Great finish.
Great backdoor cut. Good vision from Shelley to find her teammate in Potter. A tough finish down there.
Very tough finish. Being able to go up strong and finish like that is going to take them a long way.
Kelsey, what did you catch from the Geelong huddle?
Well, Chris Lucas will be happy with that. That's exactly what he drew up for Gemma Potter, that back cut. But he spoke about the early shots on the offense. He said it's not getting through enough hands. So he wants to take control of that offensive end. Too many early shots, he said, in that break. Thanks,
Kelsey. There's some ball movement on the flip side for Southside. Another seal down low. An even scoring spread for the visitors so far. Offensive foul.
And both these teams are going to have patches where it's hard to score because head coach Christy Harrow was actually an assistant coach to Chris Lucas at the Melbourne Boomers. So they know each other's offensive plays, defensive plays, how their mind works. So not only is it a great matchup on the court, but also for the two coaches, it's a bit of a chess game.
Nia Locke, corner 3 strong. Open floor for Ratuno. Locke looks to close it off. Oh, look fine inside to clinch Hoycard.
Ooh, Jazz Shelley. If that's not on the highlight reel this week, I don't know what will be.
That was an absolute laser.
Pretty fine from Shelley. And that gets some life into the Venom. 4-point ball game. Reed, corner treble. Sharp battling hard, hit the deck. Rochi's there as well.
Sharp as a guard just provides so much length and just a strong rebounder for the Venom.
Here's the Amy replay. No look fine from Shelley. That was nice.
I think she's been in the gym working on those shoulder presses because, damn, that was a hard and fast pass.
And Ratuno running point. He spent the off-season playing for Geelong in the NBL 1, along with Jazz Shelley. That's going to help having that consistency.
It sure does. When you go having a whole off-season, as we see Clinch Hoycard doing exactly what she did last game against the Perth Lynx. Kelsey said it before. She was absolute money from the three-point line, and her card was called Bam Bam, thank you, ma'am.
And Clinch Hoycard, such a dangerous three-point shooter. The wing position for the Venom. Time out for Christy Harrower. It's a 5-0 run for Geelong this time. Well, Christmas is just around the corner. If you're looking for some present ideas, we've got you covered. Check out the official WNBL merch range. Hoodies, tees, track pants and shorts, all designed for true WNBL fans. Scan the QR code on screen now or head to WNBL.com.au to shop the collection and rep the W. It comes up quickly, doesn't it, Christmas? I might be heading there myself, I reckon, Beck. 1 point ball game here. Steady word from Chris Lucas on the bench.
And we see the Venom have actually played a few possessions in a zone defense. And we saw that Perth played that in the second half against the Southside Melbourne Flyers, and that is what made them get that win. So I wonder if today we'll see a bit of zone, if the Flyers get a little bit of a lead, just to junk it up on defense and make them second guess, get a bit stagnant, but Flyers definitely would have worked on that.
Watchy wants to get Rotuno in the paint. Venom come up with the stop. Kelsey Brown was in the Flyers huddle.
But Cole, you must be an expert. You know exactly what Christy Harrell was saying. She talked about their 1-2-2 zone that Venom were playing, and she spoke about getting a little bit more spacing for them. She said the corners are open, let's look to hit them.
And like Kelsey just said from Christy Harrell, the corners are open. And the thing about an offensive zone, Lan, you can penetrate it inside through dribble or pass, but then it's about drawing those extra defenders.
Yeah, definitely. The way to break a zone is to get it in the middle. So if you can either penetrate or get that pass into the middle of the zone, you're going to have a lot of options.
Turnover on the sideline. Another stop for Geelong. It's been a defensive second quarter for these two after a fast start offensively in the first. And Choikart can reset with Rotuno. It'll be over and back.
And Flyers defended that well. They had a ghost screen, which that means you sort of fake the screen and you flare off. And Clint Choikart, they were looking for a three, but Matty Rochi switched on to us. They got a great defensive stop in that possession.
George back out there. Peters as well, returning with his starting 5 unit for the Flyers. Strong again from the three-point line. Sharp regain composure and another and one opportunity for the Venom.
And what created that space for Rotuno and Sharp is Gemma Potter ran her lane, was all the way in the corner, so Peters wasn't there on split line because you have to worry about Potter's three. So how many times have we heard at training camps that as a wing, you must run the lanes?
Definitely. They would put an X in the corners so you knew where to go.
Terrell Reid, player who can do just that as well. Rochi off the cut. Holmes first hands to it. Great look from 3 for Bourne. Geelong looking to put the foot down here. Just got the Flyers somewhat out of sorts these last few moments. And Troycard, 6 seconds, poked away from Bourne. Holmes corralled at 3 seconds. Potter has to heave. A fresh 14 for Geelong.
And great rebound by Mackenzie Holmes. Backdoor cut by Jazz Shelley. Oh, so close, but that's what Geelong Venom are really good, is getting extra possessions for themselves.
Offensive rebound number 5 for Geelong. And Rotuno right up in the grill at the timeline.
Lily Rotuno just doing it on both ends of the court right now. She knew as a guard she had the foot speed. Peters isn't a natural guard to bring the ball up the floor, so just great recognition.
Yeah, that's scary for a big when you're dribbling up the court and the point guard comes to pick you up. In my opinion, I would pass it immediately.
Lynch Hoykar with a rip through. Good defense from Reid. Bourne diving on it, no further than Sharp. Chaos, but Potter able to recover. Final look here for the Venom. With 2-0, they cap off the half. A 4-point ball game after 20 minutes of regulation. It has been gritty, it has been tough here in the second quarter. Nothing easy to come by at the moment, Alana.
No, I think what we're seeing right now is a bit of a defensive masterclass in this second quarter. Both teams really locking down and paying a lot of attention to defensive actions, and they're doing a great job.
You said it back, both these coaches know each other well, and we've seen that play out.
We sure have. They know each other so well. When you go through a season with someone, whether that be a player or a coach, you get to know each other really well. And Christy was learning under Chris as well. So we're going to be in for an exciting second half.
Flyers are led by 8 points from Hayley Peters and 8 points from Izzy Bourne, who's down there with Kelsey.
Yeah, here with Izzy Bourne. Izzy, it seemed like a real focus to utilise a mismatch in the paint for you guys. Is that a plan on the offensive end?
Yeah, I think we're quite a big lineup, so there's a few mismatches that we're trying to utilise, but we just need to be patient and not rush it.
There's not too much separating the two teams at the moment. How do you really break away in this second half?
I think we just need to get through our stuff. We're getting a little bit rushed from their press, so just slowing down and not letting them pressure us into stuff we don't want to shoot.
Thanks for your time.
Bit of work to do for both sides here. 4-point ball game. It's been tight to start Friday night hoops here at the Strike House in Geelong.
Minute 55 on the clock. Shots up. Not quite. And we're heading back up north. Big streak down the course. Shots. Not quite. Minute 30 remains. More shots down. 1 minute left on the clock. And as we count this exhibition game down, for all our players on court tonight, as a shot just misses narrowly. For all our players on court tonight, we have a Laser Quest basketball. Thanks to Laser Quest in the CBG and at North Poles next to Reading Cinemas. Shots up again, just off. And the assist over there on the cheeky Panthers courtside box. Get me stuffed as well. 20 seconds left. Get ready to count down that clock with us. Race the clock there. Shots up. Ooh, not quite. 10, 9. And that right there is game time. Give them a big round of applause. And to all our players, head on over here courtside. We've got a free Laser Quest basketball for each and every one of you. So come on over here and grab your free, guys.
The celebration's even better than the shots. That's just our style.
Halftime break here in Geelong. 34 plays 30. The Venom with a run to end the second quarter to have the lead here at the halftime break. Great to have you company for this one. A Victorian derby to kick off round 5 of the WNBL. Here's your full match stats so far through 20 minutes of regulation, and really the second quarter turned into a bit of a defensive grind, didn't it, Beck?
It sure did. Both teams chucking out different defensive schemes. But as you see there at the match stats, everything is pretty similar compared to the turnovers. Turnovers, Geelong Venom at 6, Flyers to 9. So it shows that press is working for the Venom.
Let's have a look at the halftime highlights. Thanks to Hungry Jacks. And they came out of the gate strong, both sides in the first quarter. Lily Rotuno has been excellent once more to kick it off. But early on, they were just able to push it down the floor and get in the paint, Alana.
Yeah, and I think that's one key to the game. If you can get the ball into the paint, not only can you score, you can also spray it out for threes. And so when you're able to penetrate and get both feet in there, you're going to cause problems for the defence.
2 of 13 at the moment from 3, but it feels like they've had some really great looks, and those will come back.
They will. That's their shot. Both teams have great three-point shooters. They're not going to be hitting all the time, but that's why basketball is a game of 40 minutes, and both teams need to make sure that they come back out, they play to their scout that they've planned with all week, because as we see there, Clint Choikard, she can shoot him at any time.
This was the matchup we were looking forward to coming in. Mackenzie Holmes leading the league in scoring, an MVP caliber one at that, and Kayla George. At the moment, Alana, it's been Mackenzie Holmes, early days. Who's got the chocolates?
Yeah, I mean, Mackenzie Holmes has been super aggressive and has been hitting, but I think what's great about Kayla George is that she doesn't have to score to have an impact on the game. Her passing ability, her rebounding, her defence, that all plays big parts in the game.
9 boards for Kayla George, and really one of the big stories throughout the week has been the performance of Lily Rotuno on Tuesday night, and she's just continuing where she left off here.
The confidence on the 21-year-old is so great to see, and obviously it was her and Holmes in some pick and rolls that were leading the way against that win with Perth, and she's just come out not afraid to drive to the basket, different finishes off 2 feet, floaters, but she's reading the game well and also finding her teammates.
21 points, 10 assists on Tuesday versus Perth. Come out with 8 and 4 dimes here at the half. Again, that was one of the plays of the half, the no-look pass from Jazz Shelley there. Pretty stuff. But Rotuno playing with such confidence, and really one of those guards with just such a quick first step, Alana.
It is so hard to stay in front of guards like that whose first step is so quick, and then once they get going, they are so hard to stop. And she is putting that to good use in this game so far.
Look at the forward shot chart there. Rotuno doing a great job getting inside the paint. Let's wrap it up here as the halftime break not far away as the third quarter here in Geelong. 4-point ball game just after this. Moments away from the second half here in Geelong, who held the Flyers to 9 points in the second quarter to see them with a buffer at the halftime break. Plenty to play out here. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Alana Smith with you in commentary. And Kelsey Brown is courtside at the Strike House. Kelsey, this is going to be an interesting second half.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this next 20 minutes. A reminder to anyone, if you haven't watched a Geelong Venom game, they absolutely dominate in third quarters. In their last 2 games, they've scored 24 and 26 points consecutively. This time on Tuesday was the time that they really pushed away from Perth Link. So Flyers are going to need to stay in touch here. And I don't think it's a bold prediction, but I think this one's going to come down to the wire.
Thanks, Kelsey. You're right. It has become a bit of a pattern the third quarters for the Venom.
They have. They've come out striking at their home in the Strike House, and first quarters is something that they wanted to do better in. And in this game, they have. So Flyers need to make sure that they come out with defensive intensity, don't let the Venom get off to a hot start, and then go punish. Look at those mismatches Izzy Bourne was talking about, and see how Venom can deal with that on the defensive end.
Here we go. The Flyers will kick us off. An offense that was humming so nicely in the first quarter just stagnated a little bit in the second. Alana, what do they have to do to open things up again for Christy Harrower's side?
That ball just needs to move from side to side. Make the defense move. Make the defense have to think. And I think that's when you'll get some open looks.
And they've looked at that mismatch game, Lan. When you're a post and the ball gets into, you know, now it's the second, third time, do you need the players to move around you on the three-point line and not just stare and watch you go to work?
Definitely, player movement is crucial. When players are moving, it's so much harder to defend. You have to be able to defend 5 players. And so when you're able to have that, you've got a lot of options for scoring.
Poked out from Shelley. Baseline basketball. Mochi and Returno, 2 of the quickest guards in the WNBL. Handed back to Peters. Bourne on the roll inside. And there's that ball movement you were asking for, Alana.
Taking advantage of those mismatches, as they said.
Up to 12, Izzy Bourne. Returno. Looking to attack Rochi, lost it. Right down the floor. We'll have to slow it up. Peters, time to stop, fire. Can't make it. Venom gain possession.
And George still fighting for that ball. Not only is she 5th in the league for points per game, but you said it, Lan, she doesn't need to score for her to be so effective. She's currently on 9 boards, and she's also on 2 or 3 assists, so she's doing it from everywhere on the court.
Here's Holmes, top of the painted area. Returno dumped inside, has the step on George. Can't make the basket, 2 at the line to come, and the sportsmanship to help up Izzy Bourne.
And again, just a great seal from Mackenzie Holmes. Bourne came over from split line, knowing she had to help, and that's good Team D. But Lan, I want to ask you, firstly, congrats on Defensive Player of the Year. That is just absolutely incredible. And guys, if you haven't seen her trophy, go check it out on the socials. But as a defensive player, what does it take to get to that next level?
I think we all have that effort and we all want to try really hard, but for defense, a lot of it is your IQ and your smarts, timing as well. So you have to really think and prepare for games coming ahead.
Phenomenal achievement. Alana, WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, here with us in commentary tonight. Here's George. Rochi hands into Potter. Now Bourne for 3. Over the board and out of bounds. Still yet to find their range in this game. Another good look.
Yeah, neither team particularly shooting the three ball that well, both sitting at 15%. So the thing is, though, if it's the right shot to shoot within the offense, oh, tough move by Shelley there with a bigger read on her as well. She's been impressive tonight. But then you can have rebounders that are in the right position. So if it's the right shot, shoot that three-point ball.
Absolutely. They have been great looks. A turnover on the roll. Looking to feed George. Backcourt, Mate and Shelley combining with Rotuno. Foul call on Reed this time. Foul trouble, not a problem for anyone so far tonight. We play with more than 2 personals.
And you can tell the Flyers spoke about defense and bringing that pressure at the halftime break, because you've seen Maddie Rocci get all up in Rotuno's grill, force her into turnovers. We saw Reed there. Yes, she got the foul, but I'm not mad about it. It's putting Venom on their back foot.
Maddie Rocci's always only got one gear. And let's go. Full blast as Rotuno cans the free ball. And they have come out of the gates firing here in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor for Christy Harrow. A 9-point lead to the Venom. And it's their biggest of the ball game. As you mentioned, Beck, they were 15% from 3, but eventually they will fall. Rotuno hitting from beyond the arc there to get into double figures.
And she shot the three ball really well against Perth, so sometimes I'd like to not see her hesitate and shoot that shot open, but she got that easy wide open 3 because Potter drove 2 feet into the paint. She drew players and she made that extra pass.
Just looking to put a stop to this momentum that Geelong have created. And Alana, we heard at the break, third quarters, they are a thing for the Geelong Venom. How does that get inside a group when you know you've got a quarter that you come out strong and it just becomes a bit of a pattern, doesn't it?
I mean, starting off third quarters hot is a crucial part of the game. First quarters, yes, but coming out of half time when you can really get rolling, it can help propel you to wins.
They've been fantastic at that, those third quarters so far this season. Rotuno on the Amy replay, getting involved from 3 to get her tally to 11. Here's Rocci out of the timeout. Some full court pressure from the Venom. Shelley nearly got there for the steal.
And even if they don't get the steal, they take time off the clock. They've only just started their offense with 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Number 5 ticking down. Peters, 2 more.
Southside Flyers taking big advantage there with the mismatches, and that was something that they were trying to focus on.
Potter, wing catch. Now an elbow jumper for Holmes, won't fall.
Now you see the Flyers coming out in a zone. So how will the Venom now respond to a zone defense?
Coming across with Shelley to cut it off. Right on time. Sharp, jab step, jumper. Just strong. Shelley again, nearly got there. Watching happy to take the patient approach. A walking call, says the referee. Turnover number 13 against the Flyers.
And Geelong Venom have just come out pressuring. We saw Jazz go for that steal, didn't quite get it. But that's why she's top 5 in the league for steals per game. Geelong is so great at reading the ball and where it needs to go.
Shelley draws contact. Ball not pleased with the call.
And we see a bit of frustration coming into the Flyers camp now, Lan.
Yeah, that comes with that defensive mentality of trying to be aggressive, but it's always risky. You know, when you're more aggressive, you're more likely to be called for fouls. So you have to be able to be aggressive, but stay away from fouling.
It's a third personal for Izzy Bourne. We'll take a break along with Tara Reid. Now, 2 Flyers players in some foul trouble. A walk on the flip side. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown, courtside.
Yeah, that frustration started from Christy Harrower in that last time out. She said, I don't care if we get called for fouls, ladies, but we need to be more physical. What are we doing? They're in that 2-3 zone, and she asked the bigs between Kayla, George and Peters, who finishes that one off for 2. She asked them to be even bigger. I need you to play bigger, guys.
Thanks, Kelsey. Nice room service there from Kayla George.
Sure has been, and even just that pass to Peters as well. For me, Hayley Peters today has really been a calm presence on the inside, and you know, she has all that experience over from Europe. She's had her stint just over at Connecticut Sun in the WNBA, so she brings a lot of knowledge as well with George in that post position.
Combining well there. Cut it back to a 2-possession ball game. Holmes kicked out. Clinch Hoycard. Shelley somehow able to snaffle it up. Chance for second chance points for Geelong. Holmes tied under the board. 3 seconds. Finds the cutting sharp and bailed out with the whistle.
And that's what we were speaking about before, Lan. When a post player goes to work, you need to give them their space, but then we saw the Venom didn't stop moving there.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes post players can get into trouble and they need a cutter, and the Venom have done a really, really good job of cutting, as well as the Flyers too. Both posts have been passing the ball really, really well.
Hoops Fest is just around the corner. Australasia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival. It's all about hoops, the ultimate fusion of sport, culture, music and entertainment. 15th to 18th of January. QR code on your screen now for more tickets in the nation's west. That's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to Hoops Fest.
We always love Hoops Fest. It was amazing last year as a pre-season tournament, but just to go over to a beautiful place as we see Gemma Potter get a steal breakaway layup. That is some momentum right there, Lan.
Definitely got to give the Venom some confidence getting easy buckets like that.
Defense to offense for Potter. 8-point deficit. George, corner triple. Much needed.
And that's what George can do. She can get hot from outside.
Potter looking to return fire. Taylor George having a big rebounding night once again, up to 13. Feeling it from 3.
And she averages 11 a game, so she's really helping her team on the boards, both on offensive and defensive end.
And 2 of the best rebounders in the league going at it here. Along with Mackenzie Holmes. Here's Hoycard. Clinch inside.
I like that play by Clinch Hoycard, but she had the mismatch on Marissa, so I would have liked to see her pass it to the wing and then make a cut and seal inside.
Actually off the catch. Peters, no dice. Left wanting there, the Flyers. Shelley, and a strong screen to Rochi. Holmes going to work on the block. Offensive rebound for Geelong once more. Potter in a world of space.
Offensive rebounds just create open threes all the time. It's just got to be able to knock them down.
Lead that stat, Geelong 11-6 tonight in the O-Glass. Peters and Potter getting tangled up. Which way will this be assessed?
Foul.
Defensive foul.
Gemma Potter for Geelong Venom, their first personal foul, first team foul.
Gemma Potter picking it off on the Amy replay.
Substitutions for
she's so great at just reading the ball. She has great length to her as well and athleticism. And her and Shelley have just been great in the steals department so far this season.
Players hit the deck once again. Assist on Sharp this time. It's number 3 on the Geelong's co-skipper.
And we see it's a physical game. Izzy Bourne is trying to get inside the key to her spot, but Sharp reads it really well, but she just doesn't allow her any movement in that case.
Rochi fighting through somehow off the glass.
Rochi is just so good at going to the rim with force and being able to finish like that, really tough under duress. So good.
Tough take from Rochi to bring it back. 2-1 possession ball game, Kelsey.
This is now the Flyers' 5th team foul, so there's still 2 minutes left on the clock. Like you said, Lan, they need to be aggressive, but they need to stay clean. But what a great 1-2 game with Clint Choikard and Jazz Shelley.
And the Venom have done such a good job of getting to the line. I don't think the Flyers have shot free throws this game, but the Venom have shot now 10 and finished well too. They've had a few and ones to boot.
They sure have. 3 or 4 this evening. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown courtside.
Alana, we know what kind of defensive star you are, but no doubt you don't get into foul trouble. Izzy Bourne's on 3 fouls. There's 2 minutes left to play in this 3rd term. How do you stay out of foul trouble but still impact defensively without getting into a little bit of hairy areas in those fouls?
It's definitely helpful having 6 fouls in the WNBA. It gives you a little bit more breathing room, but you just have to be smart when you get a few early ones. You have to play it cool and take a step back and not be as aggressive.
Christy Harrow are trusting her to do just that. A little bit of feeling here on the baseline. Alyssa Brett and Kayla George changing a few Rice miles. Tension just starting to rise a little bit.
And the referees have decided that that is a technical on Kayla George.
And Kayla's just a passionate player, you know. She just plays with so much emotion, and sometimes it results in plays like that. It's just unfortunate that it adds to the free throw tally for the Venom.
Shelley good on the technical free throw. In the bonus the rest of the way in this 3rd quarter. The Geelong Venom.
And Kelsey said as well that Izzy Bourne is now on 3 fouls. So you have Bourne from the Flyers end, then you have Sharp at the Venom end, 2 key players. It'll be interesting to see. I think they'll both be seeded until the 4th quarter.
Some confusion here on court. Looks like George thought it was a double technical. Geelong, safe to say, didn't agree.
No, I think both coaches will definitely be talking to the refs at this point in time, trying to figure out what's going on. But we see Flyers take it out of bounds now.
Back underway. Here is George. Finding Hayley Andrews, wide open. Ball on the follow. 2nd chance points for the Flyers this time.
And we see both teams in a 2-3 zone, so it will be a battle of the zone offense and who can keep the ball moving. But Maddie Rochi in the lanes, 2 for an easy layup. That will be good momentum going into the 4th quarter.
Double figures for Rochi. 1 possession ball game. Here's Clint Choikard. Inside with Holmes, did well to corral.
The defense was good, but the offense was better. Just being able to get her hands on that ball and finish. Great job by Holmes.
Andrews wants space to work with. Shot clock just ahead of the game clock. Kicked out to Bourne, attacking left. Bourne putting together a nice night. Not quite from Ratuno. 2-point ball game at the end of 3 here. Geelong retain the lead, and we look to be in for a tight finish here at the Strikehouse to kick off round 5 in Geelong.
There needs to be an energy to welcome our squad back onto the course. And I think you know what I'm after. Let's go, Geelong! Let's go! Lana, come on!
Great to have your company for the 4th quarter here. The Geelong Venom and the Southside Melbourne Flyers here. Friday Night Hoops. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Alana Smith with you in commentary. And this is going to be a tight one, you suspect. It's been so defensive, especially in that 2nd quarter. The Victorian Derby delivers so far. Let's see what we have in store. Ratuno putting together another nice game for this Venom outfit. Troy Card. Oh, Shelley throws a hezzy and then opens up the seas.
And what a finish from Shelley. Venom were looking a little stagnant. She had some dribble penetration. Had a little head fake, made George go back to her player, and what a finish.
George high post, handed back to Rochi. Great use of the body. So, Alana, there's some foul trouble out there for the Flyers. 3 for Reed, 3 for Izzy Bourne. I'll have to manage that.
Definitely, and that makes you think twice a little bit defensively when you're in foul trouble. So hopefully they'll be able to still hold that aggression and stay out of trouble.
Thank you. Great defense from George. Down the floor is Bourne.
Sometimes you're just going a little bit too fast and that ball pings off the backboard.
Unable to get the reward. Here's Shelley. Once again, straight to the iron.
And the penetration from Shelley right now is keeping Venom in the game.
That's fine. McKenna Marissa all alone.
And Lad, both teams are in a zone defense. What is the best way to break a zone?
Moving that ball, passing it from side to side and getting it in the paint, which Jazz Shelley has been doing a great job of getting both feet in the paint, using fakes, and again, passing, penetrating. She's doing it all for the Venom right now.
There you have it on cue. Finding Clinch Hoycard with the cut.
And if you get stops, that way you can run, and that gives the defense not time to set up in that zone. But Christy Harrower definitely calling a timeout to talk about their defense and getting some stops.
A double-header tomorrow in the WNBL. Round 5 continues. The Canberra Capitals hosting the Sydney Flames. This is going to be crucial for a Cap side on the rise, but already tested at this early point of the season. Don't want to fall too far behind the 8 ball, and then the Flames will travel down to the nation's capital. Looking forward to bringing that one to you.
And that will be a great game to watch. Two teams really needing a win. And in the last matchup they had, the Sydney Flames, their defensive aggressiveness is what got that win over the Caps, so Caps will be wanting revenge.
17 lead changes so far in this game. Biggest lead for either side has been 9. And a 6-0 run to start for the Venom in this 4th quarter. Watch you out of the restart. Now you're in Andrews off the pine. Here's Indy Boyer with 6 seconds. Active hands from Ratuno. Bourne's got to go. She'll go straight to the cup.
And Bourne has done that twice now, where she's up faked. You have to respect her shot. She's a great 3-point shooter and has driven left right down the lane.
The Flyers will need Izzy Bourne to keep being aggressive and putting pressure on that rim.
Here's Potter with a second chance.
Venom with 11 offensive rebounds in this game. Super crucial coming down the stretch.
Shelley had the mismatch. No result. Bourne lost her footing. Travel call against the Flyers.
There's that textbook Australian physicality, just having to play through it no matter what happens on the floor.
This one testing both sides tonight. Bourne calls for the mop after she hit the deck. Has been a physical contest.
It sure has, and it shows just how much the players want it. Flyers coming off a really tough loss against the Lynx, and then Geelong are wanting to build on their momentum and get another win. So 2 great teams going at it today.
Shelley assessing. Clinch Hoycard at the 3-throw line. Nothing going for the Venom.
And George has made Hoycard's time real hard. She got a block before, but her turnaround jump shots, trying to do that over George with the long hand is really tough. So great defense from the middle of the paint there.
Geelong getting it done at the moment without Holmes on the floor. Well-earned break for her. Ratuno turns the corner. Even rebounding count tonight between these two. And here is Holmes. About to check in.
Having Holmes and Ratuno out there on the floor at the same time, they just demand attention. Hopefully we'll see a bit of action from Holmes offensively.
He's Bourne, top of the arc. Peters down low. Here is Holmes and George. Popped it back out via Bourne. It was a strong take. They'll get another look.
And again, Bourne looking really good, being so aggressive, getting 2 feet in the paint. It's really working for her right now, and it's great to see that addition to her game.
Bourne immediately in the keyway. Count the basket.
A little flex on him there. That's a strong finish for Izzy Bourne.
She has 20 points in the ball game right now. She's someone who really had a showing in that Perth game, but as we see on the Amy replay, she's just been bully ball, strong post, and she does have that mismatch against Sharp, just being that little bit taller.
10 of 12 from the field, Izzy Bourne.
Oof, that's some good percentage. Keep going to her.
Having some night. Sharp foul off the ball. Second team foul against the Venom. And Gerard Reid, after an extended break, will return with 3.
And Flyers zone has been working these last few minutes. Venom just looking a little stagnant, not really quite sure where their offense is coming from.
Fatigue can play a role in that too, which is why a zone can work so well for teams at the end of games.
Rocci poked it out. Now on the breakaway. Holmes ahead. Ups to the patient approach. Peters stopped at the mid-range. Sharp controls.
Great defense there by the Venom, just being able to stay in front of the ball, trying to penetrate the paint.
And Holmes did a great job with the rampaging Rocci down the floor. Here's Shelley. Inside with Holmes. And one. Once again for the Venom.
And what a great pass by Jazz Shelley. And Holmes has got that shot a few times in this second half. And it's so hard to stop her, but that will now be Izzy Bourne's 4th foul.
That is danger signs, isn't it?
And right now, she's producing the offense for the Flyers, so they need her to stay out there.
She's going to have to be smart for the next 5 minutes of this game.
Approaching crunch time here at the Strike House. Let's get down to Kelsey.
So we see Bourne in foul trouble now. Bowyer, we missed it before, but she's now fouled out of the game. So Flyers in severe foul trouble. They're getting shorter with their rotations and who they're looking to use as well.
Thanks, Kelsey. Rocci looks a little ginger. That's an off-ball foul against the Venom. Bowyer fouled out in 13 minutes. Christy Harrow happy to inject her as maybe a bit of a defensive pest, do you think?
Yeah, she also was hot early from the 3, and sometimes on the offensive end, when you're lacking from outside, you want to inject someone who's been shooting the ball well, but she's very athletic, so she can provide that defensive energy.
George, great move. Rocci and Shelley. Attacking hard. Shelley with the afterburners. Open harm. Tough finish off the glass.
It is a very tough finish from Jazz Shelley, and we've seen her do that all game.
Let's have another look at this one from Shelley. Off balance, falling away from the basket. Gets it to go and a chance for 3 the old-fashioned way. Handy 7-point buffer. Peters controls. Now the Flyers will be tested. George, oh, great hands from Potter.
Potter just definitely saved her team from getting a bucket scored on their head. Again, just showing how quick George can release those passes, lad.
Like I said, it's like she has eyes in the back of her head. Sometimes she's just able to see the open player no matter where they are.
It was basket saving from Potter. Now Geelong down the floor with the open highway.
What momentum for the Venom right now. That is a big steal, especially on a baseline out-of-bounds play.
Biggest lead of the ball game for Geelong.
And it's
And just a great extra pass from Shelley to Holmes with a wide open layup there. But that is Potter's 4th foul. She's been crucial on both ends of the floor, so has to be smart. And she just forced a turnover on 4 fouls. So impressive by Gemma Potter in that possession.
Timeout for Chris Lucas and the Geelong Venom with a 9-point lead. Big few moments for them.
Geelong in regular 4th quarter form, they tend to finish games off really, really strong, and they've got just over 4 minutes to keep up that momentum that they've built in this quarter.
It's the first game of a 5-game slate in round 5 of the WNBL. To keep up with all the action, make sure you download the WNBL app in your app store to catch every score, story and stat. It's the fastest way to stay courtside with the WNBL. Into this game, 2 wins, 2 losses, the Southside Melbourne Flyers. After dropping to Perth last week, hoping to avoid adding to that skid.
And you can feel the pressure rising, the tension building, both teams going at it. I cannot wait to hear what Kelsey Brown has to say about those coaches' timeouts, because there's going to be a lot of instructions with both teams wanting a win.
4:13 remaining. It does start to become tricky for the Flyers. It's been chippy at times as well, Beck, you're right. Let's get down to Kelsey. What did you find out, Kels?
Yeah, Beck, you're right. There was plenty to be said on the Flyer side of things. Defensively, they want to chuck a trap onto Jazz Shelley, see what happens, see if they can get some turnover. And on the offensive end, no surprises, they want to go more through Kayla George.
Inside with Holmes with the seal. Flyers looking to run it. Reed down the floor. She will slow things up. Bourne has been unbelievable defensively. Disposed of Ratuno. Illegally, said the referee.
And that is Bourne's 5th foul. She's out of the game. How will this affect the Flyers? But Ratuno, as a mismatch, smaller guard, just held her ground, held her position. This is a big moment for the Flyers. Who is going to step up with Bourne out of the game?
Big play. 21 tonight for Izzy Bourne, and their leading contributor offensively. And you said it, Beck. Ratuno, brave down low. Here's Shelley. Geelong with all the answers at the moment. Screen provided from Holmes. Now 4 seconds. Ratuno, the float game. The door remains ajar here.
And both teams on 4 fouls in this occasion. So like Lam said earlier, you need to be aggressive, but you need to be clean with the ball.
Great anticipation from Potter. Flyers nearly regained it.
And Venom have caused the Flyers into 21 turnovers in this game. It just shows their pressure is getting to the Flyers.
It now turns into a possession game for the Geelong Venom, making sure that they make the most out of long shot clocks. And a huge 3 there from Sharp that just puts them ahead even further, making the Flyers' job very difficult.
Christy Harrowite will call a timeout. It does indeed make it difficult. 12-point ball game off the back of Alex Sharp's 3.
What a touch pass from Potter. She knew she didn't have time to land and then pass. She was about to be double teamed from George from the corner. So very smart play.
2:31. The equation now looking tricky for the Flyers. Not yet over.
And Lat said it's a possession game now. So I think Flyers will look to get the ball out of Venom's hands. They said they wanted to trap Shelley on ball screens. I think we might see them come out in a press. They need to get the ball back so that they can put points on the board.
Flyers definitely need to force the Venom into quick shots so they can come back on the offensive end and put pressure on the rim.
I need to throw everything at them. As Lucas holds 2 timeouts in his back pocket. Could be a last chance for Christy Harrella to address her side. Just 11 turnovers tonight for Geelong. They've looked after the basketball fairly well. Can they change that up?
And Flyers have a lot of experience on their team, so unfortunately there was a great mismatch, but Locke just had too much juice on that pass. But they have players who can get them back in the game, so Venom need to make sure that they look after the ball and execute their offense.
Different look out there for the Flyers with Marissa and Nia Locke getting some burn. Tuno's picked up her dribble. Backed out with Ratuno. Potter wide open. Somehow fell down to Holmes, and she is fouled.
And that right there is just an effort play from Holmes, being able to get that O-board and then go up strong and draw the foul on George.
And right now, when you're trying to get back in the game, when a team gets an offensive board and a putback, how much does that kill your momentum?
It's an absolute dagger. You're really trying to just chip away at the lead, and then when things like that happen, it makes your job a lot harder.
Holmes off on the first. 4 offensive rebounds tonight for Holmes. So hard she's worked crashing the glass. And uncharacteristic that time. Marissa. Needs to be quick looks for the Flyers. Urgency got the better of them that time. Basket here would just about sink Southside, you'd think. Shelley clocked their friend. There's Peters in front of her. Now down to Holmes. Great defense from George that time. Potter battling hard, as is Rochi. Life in them yet, but they've got to go quick.
Players need to get shots up quick, and they need threes. So an O-board right there is very helpful for them.
Just won't fall. The Southside Melbourne rattled out.
And Flyers, unfortunately, just having a game where they're not shooting the 3-ball well, shooting at only 14%, whereas in their game against Perth, it was the complete opposite. So that's just the game of basketball, but like Lan said, there's a minute left. They need threes.
They sure do. They need to force Geelong into mistakes. Chris Lucas with 2 timeouts prior to this, deciding to use one. Steady his team. So they look to improve to 3 and 4 if they can hold on. Foul trouble has been a bit of an issue in this final half for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Bourne is sitting with 21 points and 5 personals if you've just joined us.
That's a major blow for the Flyers. Izzy Bourne has been fantastic offensively this game and leading the way for the Flyers. So to have her not on the floor is not good.
Yeah, it's really not. It means the likes of Marissa and Locke will get their opportunity. Full court pressure. Shelley. You see the way out of it with ease.
I love seeing Ratuno direct the show right now as a young point guard. Unfortunately, ending up in a turnover there.
She has looked so composed tonight, Alana. Maybe a case of the commentator's curse there. Here's Rochi. Lock baseline, still fighting with it. Shelley's picked it up. for a side which has really excelled in patches of games. Tonight's felt like, for the most part, a four-quarter performance for Geelong, especially defensively.
They've got to feel real happy with this performance. Like you said, Liam, putting 4 quarters together. There was a patch in that second where they could have cleaned it up a little bit, but they should be so proud of their game today.
It'll be back-to-back home victories for Geelong on Tuesday versus Perth. And then they take out Friday night against their local Victorian rivals by 12 points here at the Strikehouse. And they are building nicely into WNBL26, their 3rd victory of the season. And it keeps them in touch with that top 4, doesn't it, Alana?
It sure does. Some people say that Geelong are the dark horse of this competition, especially with their 2 main players out in Shyla Hill and Alyssa Pilley. They've got an exciting part of the season coming up with those guys' return.
And then you have now Geelong Venom 2 wins in a row, and now the Flyers with 2 losses in a row. So it's so crazy how in 1 week, in 1 round, the momentum can change and flip. And like you said, Liam, it's still anyone's game right now.
It sure is. Shyla Hill and Alyssa Pilley join the huddle in the middle. They will be excited to get them back in the lineup. A bit to work on for the Flyers tonight. The words there from Kayla George, and congratulations to her as well. Moving up to number 5, all-times games played in the WNBL, surpassing Karen Dalton with 376 appearances. It'll be the Venom fans, though, that go home happy, and here is, well, the team selfie. We've seen this throughout their first 2 victories.
It is an iconic part of what the Geelong Venom do. They started it in the off-season in the NBL1, and they've carried it over. They have a lot of core players who played for Geelong in the off-season, now in the WNBL, and a lot of it, what they talk about is bringing the group together. Everyone is in that team selfie, and you can tell their culture that they all really do get along.
It's also just an ode to that generation of young people who are all over social media. It's just great content for the gram.
It does fit the youth of the Geelong Venom. Well, Mackenzie Holmes, yet another 20-piece tonight. She is having some start to the WNBL season. Here she is with Kelsey Brown.
I'm with Mackenzie Holmes. I told her she has to stop scoring if she wants to stop doing these interviews with me. Mackenzie, 2 wins in the space of 4 days, a massive effort from you guys. How does that one feel?
It feels great. I feel like, we're really starting to turn that corner. Just going to continue to keep building off of this. I'm sure there's, there were lulls in the stretch of the game, so we'll go back and check out what we did wrong, but I'm really proud of our fight, especially during that quick turnaround.
I really want to get into the huddle and find out what Jazz Shelley had to say at the end. It seemed like she was really passionate about what she had and the message that she wanted to deliver to you guys. What did she have to say?
Yeah, I mean, just the same thing that I just said. Just continuing to put together a full 40 minutes is going to be huge for us. Our poise is really good down the stretch, and I just felt like, we really wanted that one, and I felt like we showed that for the whole 40 minutes tonight.
What about this crowd tonight? It was very loud in the Strikehouse. Do you feel like they're almost your 6th man now?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like the crowd's very into it. This is a very intimate arena. It's very, it's small, but it gets loud, as you've heard. So I think, the support that we've continually had game in and game out has been huge for us, and it will be huge going forward.
I want to ask about your battle with Kayla George. She's an amazing player in this competition. She's done it for a really long time. Your battle with her today, how did you find it out there?
Yeah, she's a great player. She's a vet. And, there are moments in the game where you're just, she makes a tough shot. You just got to say, hey, I'll try my best the next one. But no, she's a great player. I really enjoy competing against her. And yeah, it's going to be fun moving forward to continue to compete against her.
Well, we love watching you play. You're becoming one of the favourites in the competition. Congratulations on this win.
Thank you.
She sure is right up there in MVP calculations at this early juncture, albeit of the WNBL season. Here's a look at how Mackenzie Holmes got it done tonight. 20 points and 4 offensive rebounds. Leading the league in scoring, she is getting it done once again, Beck.
She sure is, and I'll say it again, she is just so impressive. No one can speed her up. She makes moves in her own time, reading the defense, and not only is she a great inside presence, but as a big, you see her running the lanes, and as a guard, you love when you can see your bigs running and give them a great pass for a great finish.
20 points, 8 of 13 from the field. So efficient once again for Mackenzie Holmes, joining the Geelong Venom this season. Well, the Geelong co-captain, Jazz Shelley, is really a spiritual leader as well. She's down there with Kelsey Brown.
She is, absolutely, and she had a massive game. And I want to add, I called that at the start, Jazz, in the warm-up. I said you didn't miss your logo threes, but it was all about your penetration game tonight. Was that something that you really wanted to come in and do against the Flyers?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of known as a three-point shooter, so to now be able to play inside the paint, and people are going to run me off the line, so trying to work on my two-pointers.
Well, I absolutely love what you did tonight. I want to ask about Alex Sharp, though. 11 boards, she was huge in there. You guys seem to have a really well-rounded team now, but talk to me about her contribution tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she had 11 boards, but the amount of times that she would go up and tip and contest rebounds was just unreal. Like, she plays so hungry, and I think it really flows through our team. She's an incredible player, hustle player.
What about your rivalry with the Flyers now? It's become the Victorian battle, and you guys have had some really great contests over the time. It's great to walk away with a big win like that, but how is that rivalry coming along? Do you always pencil it in your calendar when you come up against the Flyers?
No, not necessarily. It's nice not to have to travel. I mean, when we go to State Basketball Centre and they come here. But it's always a close game for some reason whenever we play against them. But no, they're good sports. They're an incredibly talented team. Credit to them. We knew it was going to be a tough matchup tonight, and we're just very happy we can get the win.
And lastly, from me, you talk about your defensive identity. I feel like you're really finding that and how you're putting that out on the floor. But it seems like your offense is really coming together as well. What have you liked in the last two games to get those two wins?
Yeah, I think we're much more disciplined on the offensive end. We're sprinting to screens. We're setting up our spacing. Like it's flowing a lot better. But like again, I said last week, it's come from our defense. It's just up to notch.
Well, we absolutely love what Jazz Shelley is doing. I told you she was going to have a big game, and there she did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
15 on the night for Jazz Shelley to go along with 4 dimes. It feels like the backcourt duo with Rotuno is really working for Chris Lucas's team.
It sure is. The fact that Chris had told Lily, I want you to be more aggressive, she took that on board. It's now opening up for Jazz Shelley as more attention is now going towards Lily on the defense. And Jazz, she's been now had to step up into that point guard role, but allowing her to be in her natural 2 position, get more space, but she was just absolutely amazing tonight.
Tough finish there, driving to the cup, and you can see, got it done in the painted area tonight. So often a sharpshooter from 3. Great to see her attacking hard to the iron.
And I think that's what the Venom did really well this game, is just put the ball in the paint no matter what and finished through contact. They had a bunch of and-ones and really punished through free throws.
They really did a great job at getting themselves to the charity stripe. 12 of 16 from that spot tonight. And early on, it felt like, well, Southside were getting it done in the painted area. 18 points in the paint in the first quarter they gave up. From there, second, third and fourth quarters, they allowed just 26 points in the paint. So the defense from the Venom stepped up a notch, to say the least. Let's hear from Shyla Heel, who we think, Kelsey, is only a few weeks away from returning.
Yes, I'm with Shyla Hill, one of the stars we can't wait to see back. Shyla, I want to ask you about your team's performance in the last 2 games, though. It's been very impressive to walk away with those wins. What have you liked?
I'm so proud of the girls, honestly. We're on demand. You know, not many people have thought we could win against these teams that have all their players, and we've just showed so much grit. And I think, you know, it's going to be so exciting when we get our full team back, and I'm just so excited. I can't wait.
Alana Smith, she's in our commentary team at the moment. She said you guys are potentially the dark horse when it comes to the WNBL this season. Is that the feel that you guys have amongst you, that people don't think you can do what you're doing and maybe you're coming out and proving some people wrong?
Definitely. I don't think we've been in the talk of, you know, winning or being one of the best teams in the comp, and I think that's a really good thing for us. We have so much confidence within our group, and without 2 of our starters, and we're playing like that, I think it just shows how good we can be.
I asked some of the girls on Tuesday to give a shout out to any of your teammates. Is there anyone you want to point fingers at and say you're really proud of their effort? Give me some names of who you're really stoked with and how they've performed in these last 2 games.
last week I got emotional when Lily Rotuno came off the court. I was so proud of her. I've been in her ear giving her feedback, and she's just showed that she's a WNBL player. You know, she was a DP last year, and now she's a roster player. And all the other teams should be looking at her and saying, she's so good and we want her on our team.
And I think that speaks volumes about your culture. She's come in to replace you, and you're sitting there, you're in her ear, you're talking to her. Do you feel like the culture of this team is really starting to come together? It looks like you guys love each other on social media. Is that transferring onto the court?
Definitely. I think we're one of the youngest teams in the league, and we really get around each other. We want each other to do well, and yeah, I think that translates on court too.
Just quickly, how far away are you?
I'm not going to give anything away, but have to get through a couple more sessions and then you might see me out there.
Well, we cannot wait to have you back, Charlotte Hill. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jill.
Absolutely, that'll be a huge addition for the Geelong Venom and the WNBL in general to get Charlotte Hill back in action. A couple of sessions away. That sounds like it could be in the next round or two. Let's see. It's a 12-point victory here for the Geelong Venom. Don't go anywhere. We'll wrap it all up after this. Friday night starts with a Geelong victory here at the Strikehouse by 12 points over the Southside Melbourne Flyers. They have become a fearsome defensive unit, and they were able to use their athleticism out on the floor and stretch the Flyers to take away their second straight victory and their second win in 4 days as well at home. It's all smiles at the moment for Geelong.
It sure is. Their performance today was absolutely outstanding, and one of defence. Holding a scoreboard of the Flyers to 54 points is super impressive.
It really is. Let's look at our full match highlights and how they got it done. And offensively, it started off in a flurry in the first quarter. Izzy Bourne, Alana, she was the offensive weapon tonight for Southside. They missed her when she went out in foul trouble.
Yeah, she really was the spark for the Flyers tonight in terms of scoring, being able to do it from everywhere, threes and in the paint. And when she fouled out, you really noticed that.
Gemma Potter able to get in passing lanes on the wings, and we've got the likes of Lily Rotuno up in the grill of defenders. It does become difficult to get your looks, get into your sets back.
It sure does, and you heard it from Jazz Shelley. Gemma Potter is just a hustle player. She is high up in the league for steals, but it's those 1%ers that she does that might not be on the stat sheet, like tips off rebounds, deflections, and her with Rotuno as well. They put on a masterclass on the defensive end tonight.
Yeah, sure did. Alex Sharp getting it done from three. That was the moment where they had sealed it up. It was a gritty game tonight, 17% from three. They had so many good looks, just didn't fall from that area, but they did so well, Alana, at getting themselves to the free-throw line, Geelong, time and time again.
Yes, definitely punishing from the stripe this game. And on the defensive end, they did an amazing job of not fouling at the rim and keeping Flyers to just one free throw for the game.
Lily Rotuno had a massive game on Tuesday, as we noted, and came into this one with some confidence. She took that form and continued it here, Beck.
She did. Mindset was aggressive, and boy, did she turn up tonight. Doing little finishes, all different around the rim, and at her size, that's something that she'll definitely need to keep developing. But she is so young, big boots to fill. She's grabbed both opportunities with two hands, and she's so exciting to watch.
We love watching young players thrive, and I'm very, very excited to see how she goes for the rest of this season.
She is at home at WNBL level, as Shyla Heel noted, and that is going to form what's really such a dangerous trio of guards in that backcourt when she returns.
It sure is. The confidence she's built as well, Lily, this will help her going forward. You bring Shyla back into the lineup, adding more scoreboard pressure, and now you have your 2 point guards allowing Jazz Shelley to go back to a natural position of a 2 and just fire up.
And Izzy Bourne, who led the way in the scoring column for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. When it looked like they were in with a chance, she was leading the way. Unfortunately, it was an offensive foul which saw her sit in the fourth quarter with 5. It was a big blow. Nonetheless, though, a great night for the former Adelaide Lightning player crossing to the Flyers this season, Beck.
It sure is. She just came off a 22-point game against the Perth Lynx. You can tell she's found her feet now within this Flyers offense, and she's just backed it up with a 21-point game here tonight. But she's a big factor, but that three-headed monster of Peters, Bourne and George is one to watch.
Yeah, it sure is. 20-piece tonight for Izzy Bourne. She can get it done from multiple spots on the floor. We've got a double-header as well tomorrow, which is going to be terrific. The UC Capitals and the Sydney Flames. Let's look at the Bunnings ladder and how it all shapes up. Off the back of this, our first game of round 5. The Fire remain atop the table, and Southside came into the round sitting in 4th, slide down below the Venom off the back of that victory.
It's so insane to see at this point in time that one loss or one win can really move you up and down the ladder. The top 3, they've been looking really good early with Townsville, Bendigo and Perth. But right now, fighting for that 4th spot, it's honestly anybody's game.
Yeah, it sure is. And then after that, 7 p.m. tomorrow, it's the Townsville Fire and the Adelaide Lightning. That is going to be a test for the Lightning, travelling up to face the league leaders. 5-game slate. Perth on Sunday once again. That has become their home, where they have played some seriously good hoops against the Bendigo Spirit. Looking forward to that.
Round 5, Lan, what are you excited about? What matchups?
Definitely looking forward to that Perth Lynx Bendigo Spirit game. Bendigo in great form, but Perth also just coming out hot. Can't wait to see who comes out on top with that one.
2 games for the Spirit and the Lightning in round 5. Well, it's been great to have you with us in commentary, Alana Smith, and joining the commentary team. What's next for you coming up over the next few months?
Yeah, I'm just in Melbourne at the moment training, but I'll be heading off to Unrivaled at the end of December to get going in January, which I'm really excited about. We've got a couple Aussies in there, so we're looking like we're going to take over that 3-on-3 competition.
It is exciting, isn't it? Getting a 3-on-3 competition with such a real focus over there in the States with Unrivaled.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a good opportunity to play in the off-season and play a different style of game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Have you played much 3x3 before?
Not since I was really young. I played in a juniors competition, but I watched Beck Cole dominate on that 3-on-3 floor, so you've inspired me to have a go.
No, you'll be amazing, Lan. You have guard skills as a four-man, so I cannot wait to watch you. And like you said, way more Aussies are in there. So everyone, get around it. Go support our Aussies as our Unrivaled gets going.
Absolutely, that is going to be great to watch. It's been fantastic to have your company for this one to kick off Friday night hoops here at Geelong. A 12-point victory, and it's all smiles at the moment for the Geelong fans. They have enjoyed a nice homestand to start the season. They were sitting at 1-4 just 7 days ago. To roll out back-to-back victories, all of a sudden, it's injected some life into this season for the Venom.
It really has, and one thing I want to point out for them tonight is their defensive mindset was on another level. They forced the Flyers into 24 turnovers, and it really shows that if you can get stops, they now have 2 games under their belt where they've had multiple people in double figures. They're putting more scoreboard pressure on. So right now, they're in good stead, and they just need to keep building and keep improving week in, week out.
Well, Izzy Bourne, as we mentioned, had a nice night offensively, despite the result for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. It was a big off-season for her as well, winning gold with the Opals at the FIBA Asia Cup.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play for the Opals growing up. It was a massive goal of mine. So the short-term goal was to get in the Opals squad. And so when I saw my name on that list and got to go to an Opals camp was so exciting. There's so many different things that I've learned from that experience and taken away. And it's just made me more motivated, to be honest, to keep growing my game and keep playing the Australian basketball style and be physical and play hard defense. And yeah, it was just really exciting.
That was an exciting tournament for the Opals, coming away with gold over the likes of Japan, China. It really is a tough region of the world, the Asia region in FIBA. It's been a fantastic night. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Alana Smith with you in commentary. Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Liam. And Lan, it was a pleasure having you on this side with us for once.
Oh, thank you. It was my first time being on this side and I had an absolute blast.
Geelong get it done at home, 66-54 over the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Thank you very much for joining us. Happy Friday.